Define your existence.
I can't define my existence because I don't know what the point and purpose of my existence is. However, I don't know if I'll ever be able to actually define it because I don't know if I'll ever find those answers. I don't know if I'll ever find some sort of peace or some sort of clarity that'll make the definition of my existence more apparent. But that doesn't define who I will be or who I will try to make myself into. I think as long as I can accept that there might not be an answer, then it's okay. As long as I continue to live my life as if there was an answer, and it's not a false sense of life, if that's the way you can word it. It's more of just acceptance of, we might not know, but that's okay. There's still hope and reasons to keep going. There's still reasons that I'm still alive. And I think as long as I live like that, then it's okay not to be able to define my existence. I can tell you what my existence isn't. My existence is not the past or the future or the things that I dwell on. It is not what other people try to define it as. It's not what I think others might define it as. I find myself trying to find validity from others who will maybe help guide me into figuring out what my existence is, or whatever they think of what my existence is what it actually is. But that is not the case, and that will never be the case. It's never what anyone else thinks or what anyone else may tell me. It's still only going to be defined by me, and will only be able to be defined by me.
My existence is a momentary laughter among the gods, sent here for reasons beyond both my recognition and understanding. I think I'll stay here for a while. I don't quite know what I am, why I am, but I'm sure I'll find it. There was a poem I once read by Margaret Wise Brown. I thought, how ridiculous is it to say goodnight to every single little thing in your household? I related this to death, and it's someone's grand departure from existence. The dying man will miss it all, so he's saying goodnight to everything before his eternal sleep. I look at my pet gecko. I look at old pictures of a younger me in love with a girl for the first time. I see a text from my grandma and grandpa telling me how they enjoyed my show. I open a closet in my house and I see a Nerf gun that belonged to a little prince, a younger brother of mine. I see a picture of my grandfather hung above my favorite chair. I talk to distant friends over a video game. I see my dad is willing to hear what's on my mind. I see my brother is willing to share an idea he had for a script. I see my mom is willing to hug me every opportunity she gets. I look at you, and I see the face of every person I've ever met. I tell you in all honesty, each other is all we got. I hold you tight, and from that point on, I held everything tight, because tomorrow I just might say goodnight.
supposed to define my existence, and that's just kind of hard because I feel like every day it changes. I feel like it's never exactly the same. I feel like some days I'm like meant to be here and like bring joy, meant to help my family, meant to like do something. And other days I feel like I'm just here just to be here. I'm like just to be me and just to be alone. And some days it's just like I'm just here for no reason. I don't know. It's just really hard to explain because I feel like it just changes day to day, you know?
I don't think one can define their existence. If I had to say what my existence means, I would say change. Luckily, we can experiment. We can do a lot of trial and error as humans. And with those trial and errors, change happens. And I think how we adapt to that change defines our existence and who we are as people.
I had a whole list of things that I went down to see which thing I like related to as most in terms of my existence, but I think I'm gonna settle with duality because I contradict myself a lot and I don't know how to be consistent, and that kind of makes me feel like I'm being fake a lot of the time. But in reality, I just want to be on the same level as the person that I'm talking with. And I want to be kind of change myself, I guess, a little bit to fit their vibe. And that kind of reflects on my lack of personality in return. But I never mean it in a harmful way, but I always feel like it comes off as being fake.
Life is strange. This is a fact that everyone knows, but I guess it's just more apparent now than ever. We hate something one day and then we fall in love with another idea the next day. It's hard to keep up. And in between, we have our friends, who we cherish. And I guess that's what helps us through. Always feels like we're missing something sometimes, doesn't it? Ghosts in the corner would say otherwise, but hey, that's only my insanity. Anyways, life is strange.
Defining my existence. I think my existence as a 20-year-old living in a world really big, really scary, is to communicate, take lead, assist, and be joyful to the fullest. Find the equilibrium and try to stay on it.
I believe my existence is just the same as anybody else that lives on this planet. We live our subjective lives in this dreamlike sequence. We experience the negative and positive aspects of life in order to identify reality. We make mistakes to learn from them in order to become a better person and to create a better future for the next generation.
There's two things that come to mind when I'm asked to define my existence. Number one is my art. I pour my whole soul, my whole being, everything I am into the art I create. I want to express my emotions, what's going on in my life, and tell a story. I want it to be my career. I want to do what I love. It's extremely important to me. And secondly, excuse this for being really depressing, I guess, but is my suffering. I know people say not to let your mental illness define you, but I feel like it does. I can't ignore the fact that the people who live in my head and the depression and the suicidal thoughts and the anxiety, they all control me. They impact my everyday life. Every decision I make, everything just seems to relate to my mental illness in some way. So it is a part of me. I know that might not sound like the healthiest thing, but it's just true.
My purpose for existence is to be a people pleaser. I try to be everything for everyone. If you have any worries, I always try to be the person that people come to. I always want to be the person that they lean on for whatever situation. I've kind of transformed myself into a knowledge bank of sorts, so that when anyone has any questions, I can at least sort of answer it for them. I try to be the best at everything so that when people have a skill that they need or need a partner for something, I can be the person that they come to. Because I just want to make everyone happy. And if I can't do that, then why am I even here?
I believe my existence has everything and nothing to do with this world at all. I feel like there is certain people and certain scenarios that God puts you in, just to see how you would react. And I think that's how God determines which path he's going to put you in, just by putting, certain people and certain scenarios in your way. So that's why I think, it's everything but nothing at the same time, because you never know what exactly could happen.
I think what helps me put meaning into my existence personally is having other living beings to share my existence with, and that can be any living being. It's almost like a symbiotic relationship, because I feel like if I did not have living beings to share my existence with, I would simply feel like I did not exist. And I think that's just what really defines my existence personally to me.
My existence has been about making a way for myself, finding out what I'm good and bad at, creating art that makes me feel proud, consuming art that makes me feel heard, making connections with people, traveling, making memories to pull me through the bad times, succeeding and failing and failing and failing and succeeding again, experiencing everything that this life has to offer, and learning how to feel comfortable with just being me.
The fear is simply because you're not living with life, you're living in your mind. Your fear is always about what's going to happen next. That means your fear is always about that which does not exist. If your fear is about the non-existent, your fear is 100% imaginary. If you're suffering the non-existential, we call that insanity. So, people may be in just socially accepted levels of insanity.
Unknown Space Radio has been a production of KWDC 93.5 LPFM, Delta College Radio. This program is made possible by listeners like you. Programming is produced by the students, staff, and faculty of San Joaquin Delta College's Radio Television Department. It is supported by the Delta College Department of Arts, Humanities, and Multimedia, the Career Technical Education and the Workforce Development Office, and the State of California. Thank you for listening. Tom Argonda, Alex Salon. Unknown Space Radio.